Hey, hello and welcome back to another episode of Wrong Ones Podcast. I'm Dinesh Sagi, joined by Punk and Amar. How are we, gents?
All good, all good. How are you?
All good, man.
Yeah, pretty well. Nice Sunday afternoon. Some good weather. Finally, the cloud seems to be clearing. So, yeah, as you can see, so a little bit of sunrise. So, life is good.
Yeah, cloud seems to be clearing there, but it's not clearing for SRH. Looks like.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's still sort of in the 2024 format, which they think it's gonna work, but unfortunately things are written bleak over there for SRH. But yes, let's get into the thick of things. Obviously, IPL Game 19. 2 weeks wrapped up. Third week's kick started today with SRH obviously hosting GT. Big statement from Mohammad Siraj. Obviously, the way he started, and I know Punk. You keep talking about how important it is for him to ball well up the order. But one of the things before we get into the details of Siraj, right? I want to just call out which I've noticed is great. So GT's bowling attack, especially their pace attack, doesn't have any sort of superstar lineup. They have Mohammad Siraj, who obviously represented India until very recently, but he's obviously doesn't get the same recognition as someone like a Bumrah. And then Ishan Sharma, who hasn't been played for India in a long time. Prasidh Krishna, who is probably like the third or the fourth choice when you look at the lineup, or even probably further down. And these guys are actually obviously really delivering for a GT, and obviously it's important to know, like, take notice of the Indian pace attack here, who are very sort of familiar with the conditions, are actually making it count rather than some of the superstars or international players who sort of represent other franchises. Punk.
So, you know who the coach for GT is, Nera, right?
Mhm.
So when Shami was with him, the last, the first 2 seasons, you could see how good Shami was in the 2 seasons where he was he was on fire till, and then, and I've told Siraj, and just want to get back to Siraj. In the beginning of the season, I did tell, right, his swing has gone and in the BGT series, and that was the fact. And what's hurt him more, and which all of us agree, he's a fighter, right? And he's a workhorse, which we always agree to it. He being dropped in that Champions Trophy, right? That's triggered something in him, right? And he's come back, and the first ball which he bowled this season, right? I've told him his swing is back. The outswing was coming good, and he just needed to control that. And you see, he's got back-to-back man of the matches, the one with RCB and now here with Hyderabad, right? Both the derby, the Southern Derby, right? He's taken by storm, right? And his pace is back. He's got the rhythm now, and that confidence also. He also is a confidence bowler as well, right? And that's really shown after the RCB, right? He's now becoming. It felt like when that he was going to take a wicket every ball. That was the opening spell. Which, and see, this is what happens, right? Sometimes you need to get that thing, getting dropped, and he's a fighter, right? And that's the most important thing, right? Some people just lose it once they get dropped, and they just play in the leagues, and that's it, right? They've earned enough money. But he wants to get back to the team, not only on the red ball but also the white ball. And what best can happen when you have Ashish Nehra, one of the best bowlers for India, right? Ashish Nehra was a really good bowler. It was just that his injury hampered him a bit here and there, right? But he has been one of the best swing bowlers for India. So him being the coach there helps a lot. And if you see the fast bowling like Prasidh Krishna, right? He's got one of the man of the matches, right? So you can see that the team is with the Indian fast bowling attack. Right? He's getting them to do things which no other mentor or coaches have been able to do. So definitely agree with that. It's also depends how your coach is, and what he can give to you, the line length, and the confidence as well, right? Because being a bowler, it helps as well. So I'm really happy for Siraj, because he is going to be very key for the red ball series, and the outswing, which I can see now, is going to help a lot in the the 5 test match which we're going to see here. So
Absolutely, and I can't agree more, right? And one of the pieces, obviously, we have to also highlight is, as much as he plays for Gujarat, this is Siraj's home, right? Obviously, he's originally from Hyderabad, so he's sort of
Absolutely.
more familiar with the conditions, and he sort of make good use of it. Like 4 for 17 in a T20 game is massive. It's as good as like
Mhm.
get 7 or 8 wickets in a test innings, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You've taken like half of the power hitters, right? Actually, you can say like 60% of your power hitters are gone
Hmm.
because up to seven is your power hitters, right? Like generally the seventh guy. So you've taken like out of seven, you've taken four. That's 60% of the batsmen you've taken out, and those are the guys who are going to get you those runs.
Hmm.
You've taken them out for 17 odd runs, So it's like it's not like 4 for 40 or 4 for 50. We have
Hmm.
given some runs, and the team still goes to score 200. With 4 for 17, you've like literally just hampered them, completely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Amar, anything you would like to add on Siraj?
No, it's just that the things that happened with him previously, and if you look at historically, how many matches he has played, he has been a consistent name in the India lineup for last couple of years. But all of a sudden you see that he has not been picked for Champions Trophy, and then he has that point to prove. And also at the same time, he has moved away from RCB, so there's a change in his life. And and he has to realize that what has happened with him, because he did lose that swing that Punk keeps talking about. So he has lost that, and he has to because of his talent. I mean, he has to get that ability to swing. And also at times, the line, the correct line as well, has been missing. So well, that's to do with also to do with the function of losing swing as well. So but yeah, these events, and he's come back now. He's bowling really really well, and you can see in his performances that he wants to get back to that India lineup. And he every time he bowls his heart out, but the performance does not come out every single time. But now it is happening, and it is good to see him this way. And I would also like to talk about Prasidh Krishna, because he's if you think about, he's the guy who gets this IPL to show his show his talent. And he's every now and then he's been considered for India squad as well, but then he doesn't make the cut. But whenever IPL comes, that's the time he's kind of showing that, well, I'm here, and you need to pick me up, whenever there's a chance. So yeah, really good. And as Punk mentioned, nothing could be better than being around Ashish Nehra. He's an amazing coach, and a very good cricketing mind, as far as the bowling side of it goes as well. So yeah, really good for these two bowlers.
Absolutely. I'm surprised BCCI or someone like high up didn't consider Ashish Nehra for India like bowling coach. But obviously we don't know the backstory to it in terms of I know because some like Gambhir obviously went all the way and brought Moni Mokel into his lineup to sort of take care of the bowling strength, and why not consider like an Indian fast bowler. But yeah, Punk, yeah.
Yeah, just to add to that, it's being a second, just a bowling coach would not suffice for Ashish. You would rather be the coach itself, right? Which is going to be, but the good thing is, see, even in IPL, you get like 8 weeks with the key Indian bowlers, right? And the
Yeah.
good thing about him, Shami with him, and you see what Shami did in 2023 World Cup, right? And then now, he's got Siraj, he's got Prashid. So all these new guys who are going to that, you can call it the Ashish Nehra Bowling Academy in GT, right? They are going to come back, and these are not like new bowlers, right? They're already like established Indian bowlers, right? Siraj definitely he's going to open in the test. Maybe the one day in T20 he's been out, but it was not long enough, right? He's just been dropped. He will be back. Same thing with Prashid, right? Prashid is again your second or maybe the third or fourth bowler. So these guys are going to go now in, and with the experience what they're getting from Ashish Nehra, right? They will be able to like show that in the international level as well. So And as and when, right, if they need support and all that, Ashish is always there, right? So I don't. It doesn't make sense for him to, be all round as a bowling coach. Until it's like, why would you leave just 8 weeks and then you relax, you get a lot of money than what is being given as a bowling coach from the BCCI, as an international bowling coach for Indian team, compared to what your the money you get as a GT coach as well,
But
right?
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of seeing him as future India coach as well, because of course he's doing really well. But the thing is, he's gelling up with a future India captain. So when he becomes India captain,
takes
I'm
his
pretty
chance.
sure he will come in as the coach, and that team will work together. So when
Yeah,
Shubman Gill
yeah.
comes, becomes the India captain, then Nehra can be brought in. They both will have this history of doing really well for the side. So, and that's how things go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Sure. So,
that I agree, right? So yeah.
so if I interpret that correctly, Amar, you saying when Shubham Gill becomes a skipper, he'd ask, "I don't want to work with Gambhir. I'd rather have Nehra."
No, it's all about
But like,
gelling together. No, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
if
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, like the same as
But like,
No,
just
but
to
I
put,
hear
Gambhir is
you.
there.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, you
yeah,
no,
sort of build that
it's
rapport
not about
already, right?
Gambhir.
yeah.
Yeah, so Gambhir will be here till 2026 World Cup, I guess. And then most probably, he'll shift. You see, 27 World Cup. Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
till
Mhm.
the 2027 World Cup, right? And then you will have coaches coming in. So Ashish is there. He's not like 55 plus or something. Where he cannot. He's still young. He'll still get an opportunity to coach India, right? So
Yeah.
maybe when he's 50, with GT and all that, he can definitely get an opportunity to coach Indian team. And like more and more IPL titles, Gujarat Titan wins, or at least qualify at the top
Mm,
four, right? That shows a bit of confidence from the BCCI guys as well. That Ashish is a good coach, right? He's already won one,
Mm.
and they've gone runners up in the second season itself, right? And this season they're looking a good pack. So, and with the limited resources, and still they're doing really well. So
Mhm.
if that will qualify, right, then shows that you got some coaching,
and not only
breakers in your
coaching,
house.
it's about picking the team. The IPL coaches, the best talent which can you can see is which players to pick, and through the auctions as well, we have seen that Ashish Nehra has been very instrumental in getting really really good players, both the uncapped players and the capped players. So we have seen that when GTK came up, and straight away they were playing the finals, or qualifying straight away. So that itself speaks very highly of Nehra. And of course, about when I'm saying that um, uh, when he becomes the coach, uh, with Gill, then it's all about synergy of ideas, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
uh, and that works. What keeps the team together, and what ideas they both gel into, and works towards the team's betterment and winning. That's all it matters. I mean, there's no point having two people having two different ideas. Both might be correct, but until unless they go in synergy, they won't work.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And talking about synergy, SRH, all the firepower. I don't know, like I don't know what's going on with that lineup, right? Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, Ishan Kishan, NKR, Klassen, and now more power, Aniket Verma, and still that team is struggling to put 150 on the board. There are chats around like this team's going to break the records, 300, flat tracks, but just not working for SRH. And Punk, I know I've raised this on the previous podcast, and I want to repeat this again. Do you think it's time to panic if you're an SRH, think tank?
See, it depends. Like okay, like again, I don't want to use the word which I used yesterday, right? I'll call it DH. Yeah. So I don't want to use a DH to provide a pitch, a slow pitch, a turning pitch to one of the best batting lineup in the history of IPL. I'm
In
not talking the
home,
first three. I'm in home conditions, right? In the history of IPL, you've got one of the most attacking lineup. Yeah, till the number seven, they can like crack on. Yeah, RCB had like one, two, three. Yeah, with Gill and De Villiers and Kohli. That's it, right? They didn't have like 4, 5, 6. The Indian batsmen all not good. This is like a proper batting lineup, and then you give them a sticky wicket. Yeah. So the DH, whoever is,
There is a mole.
there's a mole there,
There is a mole
and I hate,
in the
and
gang.
like, I was like pulling my hair, whatever little I have now. Seriously, whatever pitch would you give to guys, come on. And then like, see, the thing is, and I've told you that SRH do not have the bowling attack to defend. Yeah, that is the other challenge. So they have to score above par every other day. This was like a, close to 170, 180, and with the bowling attack they have, they would need to score another like 10, 15 runs above par, like some 190 would have been an ideal score for this pitch. Yeah. uh, and like, it's frustrating to see the pitch in the first place itself, right?
I have a
Why
theory
would
here.
they?
Let me add something
And
to
I
that.
have a
and
theory.
something I just wanted to add something, like
Mm.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Amar, just give me like,
Yeah, yeah.
just 10
Sorry.
seconds here. This is something similar which they did to India in that World Cup final. Yeah, in that Ahmedabad pitch, right? They gave them a slow pitch. India had one of the best batting lineup, yeah, and then they gave a bit of a slow, sticky wicket, right? And they got stuck. You see, the ball was not coming to bat, and you're not able to play your shots, right? So this is something, and I'm more, the reason why Rohit and whoever, like, they decided that was because they thought, oh, our spinners are good and right. But then, your batsmen also have to score those runs, you know. So something similar has happened here with these Hyderabad guys. They've given a wrong pitch. When I saw the pitch itself, I realized, okay, this is going to be like, especially the joke which you told, like 300 overall throw, and that technically happened, right? So it's the pitch basically, right? You have to give them this, the batting track which they need, because your lineup is built on that, right? If your lineup was built on spin hitters and all that, then you have to reshuffle your guys and see who are your spin hitters, and then you can still bring in. And there's another, just summarize this quickly. Cummins, I'm like, whatever you talk about it, right? When it comes to these type of pitches and other things, he has not got a clue who he needs to be. And something I want to add from Amar here, right? Being a coach and understanding your key players, right? Rahul Chahar should have been bowling in this pitch, right? You picked up this, you need to get your leggy, right? And then that, you could have, you didn't need a Kamindu, right? You could have got another batter, you know. But I don't know what's happening with these guys, right? Like they're picking the wrong guys for the wrong pitch, and this is the entire story of SRH this season.
Go on, Amar. Your thoughts.
Yes, I do have a theory here, and I'm the one to smell any conspiracy theories if there is around. And I think SRH does not control the pitch here. It's the Hyderabad Cricket Association that controls the pitch here, and we have heard about all the rumors about they being not in
Getting enough
line or in
tickets.
sync. As we are talking about things being in sync or out of sync here. So I have a theory that there might be a play something here, and it's really strange that a devastating or such an attacking batting lineup is
Mhm.
getting a pitch at home, uh, which can they won't be able to make use of, and it's really surprising that this has happened. So this is my theory. Of course, like you say, Punk, that Cummins should have realized that this is the pitch, and he should have picked the bowlers and bowled the bowlers according to that. But that's about bowling. It's about bats. SRH has been a batting team because of who they have this time, and there's only one thing can happen that can stop them making these runs is a slow wicket, a sticky wicket, and that has been provided to them by Hyderabad Cricket Association. So, guys, SRH guys, this is your clue what is going wrong here.
I was about to say I didn't want to speculate, but if I was SRH, I'll give away those 5,000 tickets, whatever they want, and get the pitches you want. Because
Exactly.
there's a lot at stake here. 5,000 tickets should really
Exactly.
matter to you.
That's why
Because
so
one of
there's
the
some
most
DH
important
there,
things I want to, yeah, one of the most important
Yeah.
things I want to call out is, let's keep Kavya happy. We don't want her in that upset mood.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what's going on. She thinks the players are at fault, maybe the management at fault. No, it's someone else sitting up there who
And
has the right, who
Yeah,
the,
plays the
the
Kavya,
other
best
there
thing
is a
game.
is,
mole. Kavya, there is
so
a mole there.
the
You have to
other thing is
catch
Kavya.
him.
Yeah, so Kavya, like the entire family is from Tamil Nadu, right? So that's
Yes.
another, just to understand that also, right? There's power play going on there as well.
So we're going to pull in the political angle from high up as well.
So there's something going on, but like,
Maybe
come
yes.
on.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's
Yeah. Probably. But
but
yeah.
I'm with Amar, right? There's
Yeah.
some, you know, your home pitches, right? Should be advantage to that,
To
to
the
your home
home
team.
team. Yes. Absolutely.
Or everybody give like the same pitches now. It was like such a boring game, man. Come on, you want to see IPL, the team's strength, should come
Mhm.
out, right? And then the opponent team should look at countering that strength,
Yeah.
you know. So that is the fun of it, right? If everybody has become the same, right, then what's the use of like then you can just like play stick cricket.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also if you look at the SRH bowling lineup, you have Zishan Ansari, right?
Mhm.
And who's the other spinner?
Well,
Um,
Mendes.
Mendes is
Ravinder
there.
Mendes.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, who are you helping there? I mean, by giving that pitch. I mean, I don't see you're not playing like, 3 4 like the spinners which KKR have or CSK has. But despite of
So
that, I mean, despite of that, the batting lineup is there. Who can who were who were supposed to score 300 are not even scoring 180 or 200. So uh,
So Amar, are
yeah.
you suggesting along with HCA Cricket Australia also won some tickets? Hence, the skipper is not picking the right squad.
Well, I don't know about that, but he certainly did not expect the pitch to be that. That's because he did say as well that you know uh, he doesn't know why that pitch was there, but I mean it was surprising. In a word, is he was surprised to get that pitch. So you can
Yeah,
see what is happening
absolutely.
there.
Yeah,
The
that's something
captain saying
definitely.
that yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he's
not.
not getting the right pitch. Obviously,
Yeah.
again, we as much as we speculate, we don't know what's going behind the scenes. But obviously, hopefully, Hyderabad as a team sort of get together and at least get a 200 at some point so that the fans are happy. But talking about home conditions and home pitch, right? Homecoming for Washington Sundar. He was with Hyderabad for a few seasons. Hardly ever used to play for them. He was like, yes, there's certain games maybe he used to come open the bowling for them. But obviously, this season they haven't retained him. Went to GT, promoted for today's game at number 4, and he actually made the difference. GT were two down early in the power play, but he sort of played as if this is like a pitch he always sort of played on. 49 of 29 deliveries, 5 fours, 2 sixes. He actually created the momentum, and then Gill obviously did what he does on the other end. So maybe a word on Washington Sundar Punk.
Yeah, so like just to understand, right, and this is what I was trying to tell, right. So if Washington Sundar wouldn't have come at number 4, right, you would have gotten Rutherford, yeah, and then you have got Shah Rukh Khan, right, and then Tewatia, and then Sundar, right. So you see, now to elongate your like a power hitter, right, of Shah Rukh Khan, where he cannot like carry the team forward, right, in terms of like playing the 30, 40 balls, right. He's a good hitter. He will come for like 10 balls and give you the 20, 25, 30 runs, right. So this is where I'm really this is where Nehra is really, really good. He's used a Sundar who he knows, right. Even if Sundar goes right and he ups the ante, he goes out, it's not a loss for the team because you'll still have a Rutherford, you'll still have Shah Rukh Khan, you'll still have Tewati. You've got a gap of 3 good batters who can actually control the game, right? And because it's a sticky wicket as well, you needed somebody who could like go out and hit those spinners and get those fast runs. And these are things like, which the team needs to understand the strength of the squad and see who actually can go and try to take on those bowlers without fear, right? The intent. And now to come back to Sundar, right? He went and he showed that intent of hitting, right? And plus, he played it really well within the gaps, and that shows, like, he's got like 5 fours and 2 sixes, right? So it's not just like, he went tong, like, hitting over the, like, over the fielders, right? He's got those 5 boundaries as well, right? And then we all know, like, and we had discussed, like, in the BGT series, like, Sundar is one of the openers um, for Tamil Nadu, right? So he's got the skill in him, and until unless you don't give an opportunity for those players to bat up the order, you won't be able to see that skill, right? And he's got an opportunity. He's grabbed it for both hands, and this now what happens is with him coming at 4, or maybe sometimes like, he'll definitely be at 4 now because of Butler. They're not going to send Butler half time, right? So he'll be around that fourth mark, right? What happens is now the team's batting elongates. You see, so he can go freely, knowing that there's another Ford, there's Shah Rukh Khan, and there's Tewatia behind him. Right? If he clicks, awesome for the team. If it does not click, anyways, he wouldn't have gotten a batting opportunity because the line was so long. So this is something really good, and he's taken the opportunity with both and grabbed it with both hands, and, like, happy for him. And he just showed, and the way he and this was not like 120 or 130 strike rate. He went to 170, close to that was his strike rate. So brilliant, and especially on that pitch, right? To do that, he just created the momentum, and, like, they never felt like GT was out of the game ever, right? So
Absolutely right. Obviously, the you mentioned about intent, and someone's trying to take a dig at you for a CSK's intent. But yeah, focusing on obviously GT, right? So Shubman Gill, Amar, what a fantastic innings, and like you pointed out earlier on the call, right? Someone, the India sort of looking to obviously lead this the Indian side, and he's leading the GT side perfectly. Like, obviously filling in big shoes of Hardik Pandya. Last season, everyone's like, is he the right person to lead GT? But this season, from the 4 games so far, he definitely made his mark.
He made his mark, and straight away you can see why. Now, out of both the batting lineups, who's the guy who's a one-day specialist here? It's Shubman Gill, and he lives and breathes one-day cricket. The way he bats, he sees off the ball early on, and then plays the ball to its merit without playing any rash shots. And on this pitch, that was needed. And of course, you can see that in his test match batting as well. Of course, Travis Head is there, but he likes to attack early on, but he's not the guy who kind of easily you can associate with gritting it out early on when the pitches are bad. So it was tailor made for Shubman Gill, this match, and he has shown that how it has to be done. Early on, he didn't go for these shots, and he was kind of towards the end of his in his last 3-4 overs. He kind of started hitting once he was comfortable, and hence you can see 61 of 43 balls, 141 strike rate. And It was only when he took the match to a position where he, along with Washington Sundar, could take the game to the finish. Of course, it was Washington Sundar who finished the game, who provided that impetus. But someone had to take that game to that situation, at least that lower order batsman could come and just start hitting and play his shots, and that's what would happen in a IPL T20 game. So yeah, I mean, easily the best batsman today, and on that difficult pitch, he was the perfect batsman to grit it out and make it to the end.
and
Absolutely.
just to add to that, right?
Hmm.
You see, they lost 2 quick wickets, right, and really key wickets, right, and they are top heavy, GT, right, because of Gill, Sudarshan, Butler. Right? They were the guys in the last two matches who actually got them to win the matches. In here, right, because it was a small target, he had time, and he never went for any rash boundaries. Right, he never scored for a six. There's only like nine fours, and he's built his innings, right. And this is what I'm trying to say. If you don't have to go bang bang, you know you just need to make sure that like you are there, you conserve those wickets, because you will have those power hitters, and the ball is going to get a bit old, right? The swing will go away, uh, and those power hitters will get an opportunity to hit, as long as you are there somewhere around the net run rate is close to where you need to be, right? And that's what Gill did perfectly with. And Sundar, on the other hand, right, he came like out of the blue, and he was taking the risky shots, he was going for those big ones, and he got them. So like just shows like got a good shoulders on his hand. Yeah, if this was a 200 pitch, it was slightly different. The approach would have been different. But if it was like 150, easy chaseable target, right? And for them, they play like much more stickier wickets than this. So it is not a big deal for them. Just to add to this entire match, right? There was only five sixes. So and the three sixes came from two from Sundar and one from Rutherford, right?
Rutherford, yeah.
And two from from
Brady
SRH.
Cummins.
So it was, and this is what I'm trying to say. This pitch was not made for the SRH batting lineup.
Yeah,
So
totally.
Exactly.
it just
And that proves, and that also shows the point here that this pitch was tailor made for Shubman Gill. He hit nine fours
yes.
in his 61. So we needed to play your ground shots and play your gaps, and who can do it better than Shubman Gill.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hopefully, SRH sort of learn their lessons, and obviously, it's still not too late. They still have a good 9 games, and obviously, anything can happen if they win 9 out of 9, or at least 8 or 7. But things would come down to NRR, net run rate, and hopefully NKR also starts scoring some runs. He did make an effort today, but yeah. Quickly moving on. Tomorrow's game, big game. MI obviously hosting RCB. There are some news on socials that brilliant Bumrah is back in the squad and potentially might play for Mumbai
In the
tomorrow.
game
So
tomorrow.
yeah, who is a pick, Amar, between RCB and MI? MI home?
Yeah, it will be MI, as we saw the comment from Amandeep saying that he wanted intent, and I think Bumrah will be back tomorrow, and he will show the intent. So, and of course, we'll see that intent from
RCB?
who was no no who was um, sent in MI, who was sent back.
Oh, Tilak Varma.
Yeah, Tilak Verma, sorry. And yeah, so we'll see the intent from him, as last time he kind of slowed down his scoring, but now I think he will up his ante now. But yeah,
This
MI
is
for
going to
me.
be a different track, Yeah, might for me as well. This is going to be a different track from where they came from Lucknow, right? This
Mhm.
is where they're, bread and butter for them. And with
Yeah,
Bumrah coming back, right, you got one of the best bowlers, right, that bowling, right. I hope like he comes and just gets it right, or like he doesn't, because just after injury you might be a bit
Rusty. He hasn't done
rusty,
any
so
game
you
practice
never
either.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but still with Bumrah's action, all that, it's not that easy to hit him. Yeah, so
yeah. So you're going for
going to be interesting.
MI as well, Punk? Sorry, let me to cut you.
Yeah, am I.
MI
The
is your pick.
home conditions, like generally, you give 60-40 to the home team until unless somebody, plays like you have a DH in the team itself, right?
Mm.
Or
And also their bowlers are really doing well, right? Putur, and then
Chahar,
is it
Bolt,
Ashwani?
yeah,
Um,
Shwani Kumar. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, and with along with that, you add Bumrah to that. I mean, it's just crazy. And already a batting lineup which is coming back to form. Sky has scored runs, so and at home. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of getting that start up front with the openers.
and
So if that
Rohit
happens,
is coming, yeah, and Rohit is coming to bat as well, right? So,
Okay.
yeah. So
and I
I
have
mean,
a feeling he'll score. I have a feeling he'll score this time.
Cool.
Strong
Let's see how
feeling.
things unfold tomorrow. Big game.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, for our viewers and subscribers and anyone else who's watching, just all in good intentions. Obviously, we don't have anything against HCA or anything in favor of SRH for that matter. Just sharing our thoughts. In
There is a
hindsight,
mole.
we never know what's going on in the sports, but yeah, we
We'll
definitely
find
want
the DH.
SRH to do well, and hopefully, we see more competitive, games as things unfold. But yeah, thank you, gents. I know it's a late Sunday night. Hopefully, rest of the weeks goes better for you guys at work, and at IPL as well. But yeah, we'll come back
Professional
covering
do-ups,
more
you mean?
games. Yes, the professional so-called do-ups.
SRH, there is a mole.
Yes, 5,000 tickets. It's not worth the risk. Just
It
give
only
them.
takes 5,000 wickets, and you will get your pitch.
Yes. The curator must be in demand right now.
Mm.
His phone's ringing constantly. But yeah, thank you, gents. Have a good night as always. Appreciate all your feedback.
See
And we'll
you.
speak soon. Bye.
Yeah.